A bill that could lead to a ban on TikTok, still facing an uphill battle in the Senate, as a new poll shows most voters are split on banning the Chinese-controlled app. However, an overwhelming majority agree on the need for parent control for kids under the age of 13 on social media. GOP Congressman Michael Waltz sits on the Foreign Affairs Committee. He joins us now. Congressman, good morning. Happy Easter. Of course, always. Thank you for your service. I don't know if we...
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Joey, and Semper Fi. Happy Easter.
Hoorah. Yeah. Listen, on this TikTok bill, so I read the bill. Yeah. And there are actually two bills. One was more about data. That's a different topic, I guess. But on this idea of punishing TikTok, banning TikTok, charging them a fee if they don't comply, the devil is in the details. The question I have is the way it refers to Title 15 as the countries, the specific countries that apps from would be banned. Who has the power to change those countries? In other words, the people that don't want to ban TikTok are afraid South Africa or Mexico could end up on that list.
Yeah, Joey, at the end of the day, it's about our adversaries. So it is, China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, not having control of half of America's data, 150, 170 million Americans. At the end of the day, we can divest it. This is about ByteDance, the Chinese owner of TikTok, more than it is about TikTok itself. I think you'll see a group of investors, we're already seeing that reporting, come out and buy TikTok. It's not going to go anywhere. But at the end of the day, this is about the Chinese Communist Party not having control of the data and not being able to manipulate the algorithms without anybody knowing. We wouldn't have allowed this, Joey, with the Soviet Union back in that Cold War. And when we have a Chinese Communist Party that's openly talking about destroying America, replacing America, the decline of democracy, the decline of capitalism, and the rise of themselves, we have to divest of this propaganda tool.
I understand that, but with that being said, why, as a conservative, do you feel comfortable handing that power to whoever the president is at that time? And that's how a lot of people interpret this bill. And if that's not the case, can you explain to us how it isn't the case?
Well, look, at the end of the day, that's why we're putting it in law. I don't think any president through executive order should have this power, and that's why we have a bipartisan law, both sides of the aisle. And again, this is about China and the Chinese Communist Party. I'm always nervous about the role of government and the role of information, but if you're nervous about that and you're a conservative, as I am, you should be even more nervous about our greatest adversary having that kind of control over information and what we believe.
I got one more topic for you. We'll get to it quick. So the U.S. military appears to prepare for a potential war with China. We're just talking about how China's probably our greatest adversary. And I have a little bit of background on this. So the Marine Corps is creating units or changing units to be nimble, small. They're changing the weapons they can use, and they're strategically placing them or pointing them towards the Pacific because we feel like that's where China could come from. Do you have insight on what these changes are and why they're good or bad?
Well, really, this is about dealing with the thousands of missiles that China is prepared to shoot at our ships all over the Pacific. And the days, Joey, of having literally thousands of Marines loaded into large ships, I don't think make as much sense anymore. This is small groups with drones, hopping around on islands, electronic warfare. We have to assume that our satellites are going to be knocked out, that we're going to be under a massive cyber attack. These small groups of Marines armed with anti-ship missiles, armed with drones, armed with electronic warfare are going to be our eyes and ears. But really, Joey, this is about preventing this war. How do we deter it? How do we stop it from happening? And that is, when Chairman Xi, the leader of China, wakes up and says, we're ready to go, he thinks again. He delays another day because Taiwan is armed. We pulled our supply chains out. We're manufacturing in America, and we have a military that's focused on lethality. All of these things are what President Trump knows, and this is why we've got to have a new leader in the White House.
Congressman, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think a lot of the Marine Corps leaders of days old would say it's 7 years to get there, and we've already started selling the assets we have now. But we got to be able to pay for it, so maybe that's part of the problem that you get to fix. Congressman Michael Waltz, thank you again for your service, and happy Easter.
Thanks, Joey. Happy Easter.
Yes, sir.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.